Hi everyone and welcome again to another episode of Learning Lounge by My Learning Venue. I am here with one of the person who gives smile and life to MYLV. Do you agree with that? Hi Ma'am Fel!
Hi Sir Ken!
And today, Ma'am Fel, are going to share her experiences as introvert and being a student and now as an adult, from quiet struggles to hidden strength. And we will explore how introverts navigate their school, their works, their life, and their life by staying true to themselves, di ba, Ma'am Fel? So, can you please explain to us what's life of being an introvert, Ma'am?
Okay, so life being an introvert is quite a struggle, especially in a world that I think is very extrovert centered. Like
Yes.
I think it caters to extroverts to some extent. I remember when I was a kid, when I was expected to be sociable by both my family and even the teachers. So like it was really a struggle for me because I was someone who who preferred to do things by herself. So I didn't really talk to people that much, especially those whom I considered untrustworthy or people who I really just consider strangers. So basically people whom I have no connection with. So yeah, that was one of the struggles that I faced growing up as an introvert, especially when I was in school.
But now, as an adult, how life as an introvert, especially that you're in work. And then very ironic, sa hindi nakakaalam, Ma'am Fel is our front desk. And her work is engaging with people, communicating with our customers, communicating with the students. And being an introvert, it takes a lot of courage for you to speak up. It takes a lot of courage for you to make a conversation with them. So, giunsa nimo og kuha sa job, giunsa nimo og kanang lihok or ginaunsa nimo og uyon-uyon imong self in order for you to create that kind of situation na dili awkward sa mga customer and then maka-engage pug kag personal relationship with them.
Okay, so that's a very interesting question. To be honest, being a front desk as an introvert, it certainly presented me with a lot of challenges, especially because I have to interact with parents on a daily basis and even the students themselves. But as they say, you have to put your big girl pants on.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like before when I was a student that people are gonna be like more accommodating maybe or maybe even more understanding. But as an adult, like I really had no choice but to like suck it up and like just roll with it, like adapt and learn. So as a front desk, I admit that I still have a lot to learn and I still have a lot to improve, especially with how I communicate with the customers. Because to be honest, as an introvert, it's kind of hard for us to like say act very sociable. So being a front desk, it's certainly been a very interesting experience.
So now, ma'am, that you're working, diba, you've learned a lot of things sa imong work, and then as a worker na everyday ka ga indulge with people, communicate with people, I know that you already experienced and learned something from them. How about, let's go back your sa imong life as a student before. So, are there any struggles na imong na face? Like for example, bullying, kanahang you know already the answer but because you're too shy kay ka mag-express sa imong feeling, dili nimo maingon imong answer, kabalo ka na correct na gini akong answer, but because you're too shy to express yourself, you're unable to say the correct answer or the answer, and dili ka maka-communicate sa imong classmate if groupings. Sa groupings ninyo, like for example, may groupings, dili ka maka-communicate sa ila because you're too shy. So, giunsa nimo siya face, and naaba ka na nga experience na mga butang?
So a lot of the things you mentioned, I've actually experienced them. So like, let's start with the bullying one. So it's not the usual bullying though, like the physical one.
Yes.
It's more of very subtle bullying, like in the form of gossip and snide remarks, that kind of bullying. Nobody really dared to physically bully me because I'm a pretty tall girl, so I was taller than most
Physically
girls.
tall.
Yeah, I was taller than most girls in my class and maybe even the school. So nobody really dared to physically cross me or something. So I guess they just resorted to something more subtle and harder to catch, like gossip, because when you gossip people, it's more just within their circle, so it's much harder to catch and it's much harder to confront them about it. And those snide remarks that are like just backhanded stuff like that, but you can't really say much because you don't really want to rock the boat, like you don't want to cause drama, all that kind of stuff, that kind of bullying. That was the kind of bullying I experienced. And what made me even more susceptible to those kinds of remarks was the fact that because of my introversion, I tend to be in my own world.
Yes.
I very much loved my own company. I actually didn't mind being on my own. So in a way, I was kind of branded as a class weirdo. So not the class weirdo, but one of the class weirdos, because there were actually a lot of us. So in a way, I was sort of outcast, but not really like outcast, if you get what I mean.
Because you're enjoying your own company. So meaning you are not expecting the other's company because you're just expecting yourself to be happy. So you're not expecting for them to take you or to love you because you yourself already know that you love yourself and you're enjoying your own company. Tama ba, ma'am?
Yeah.
So as introvert ma'am, do you have any extrovert friends with you?
Yes, I do have extrovert friends. In fact, they have always been the ones to befriend me first. They've always been the ones to approach me because I'm not really the type to initiate friendship. I mean, I think you guys have heard of those memes about extroverts adopting introverts. Yes, that's pretty much what happened to me most of the time. So there was this one time when during recess, I was just minding my own business. I was in a pretty secluded area, and then this girl from my class, just came up to me, and then she started yapping about whatever. And I was actually surprised, but I didn't have the heart to stop her, so I just sat there and listened. That is actually one of the strengths of an introvert.
Good listener.
Yes, we tend to be very good listeners. We tend to be listeners than yappers. So from then on, that was how my friendship with that girl developed.
Wow, I've learned new thing from being an extrovert. So that's your strength, being a good listener. Because an extrovert, I consider myself as an extrovert, ma'am, Fel. So we are good in giving advices. We're giving, we're yapping to the people, to other people. And then for me, I'm not a good listener, good ma'am, Fel, because I am emotional monggod. So if I listen to their problem, where ma-reciprocate or makuha na ko ilang problem, then if sad sila, masad pod ko.
I kind of do feel that way sometimes. Yeah.
So, and you, kita na ko sa imong work, ma'am, Fel, that you are surrounded by extrovert co-workers, Sir Tash, si Ma'am Nika, si Ma'am Eva. You're surrounded by extrovert. How do you handle you being an introvert and not fitting in, but makisabay sa imong co-workers? Because dili man pwede nga ikaw lang magkuan sa imong work because it's a teamwork. So in order for us to create a teamwork, we need to communicate with our co-worker. So how are you able to communicate with them as an extrovert? Ako, extrovert man ko, Ma'am Fel. Magmuchikar ako sa imo sa front desk na rin. So ikaw, buti nga, makalita siya. Mukalit na kasya kay ni chika ra ko sa imo ha, and then nagkano ra kasi mo work. So how ginaunsa nimo siya og handle na makig-communicate gyapon ka sa imong coworker na ikaw mag-build pa kag courage sa imong self to speak up sa ilaha.
So I guess my philosophy is just to go with the flow, because I do respect extroverts because they do have the courage to like initiate, and that's one thing that I'm still trying to learn how to do. Although I can say that compared to my to my past self, I can say that I've sort of developed a bit of a backbone, I guess you could say. So if you were to compare past self and my present self, they're quite different now, because back then I was a lot more hesitant to express myself or even interact with others, especially if I don't really trust them. But now I've been a bit more open. I found myself being a bit more open, especially with you guys, extroverts. So and also I found myself less hesitant to like express myself, like express my thoughts and my opinions. So I guess that's not too much of a problem for me, pero I'm still developing, of course.
Okay, let's have a quick break lang sa muna. We will have a game. So because we are now being serious na, Ma'am Ha, serious na kita sa atong topic. So let's cut and then let's have a game. Are you ready, Ma'am Fel?
Kung pinanganak ka 10 years ago,
10.
ilang taon ka na ngayon? 3, 2, 1, go!
10!
Correct! Kung ang sausawan ay sauce, ano naman ang maalat? 3, 2, 1, go!
Salt. Salt.
Maalat.
Salty.
Correct!
Ito sa salt. Para?
Ano ang English ng anak ng lalaki?
Sun.
Sun.
Ano ang spelling ng araw? 3, 2, 1,
S1!
Kung ang sun ay araw, ang araw ay day, ano naman ang araw-araw? 3, 2, 1,
Everyday!
Kung ang butterfly ay paro-paro, ano naman ang butter? 3, 2, 1, go!
Smooth like butter?
Sa gitna ng barko, sa gitna ng kotse, may lamesa.
Huh?
Sa gitna ng lamesa, may aso. Ano ang nasa gitna ng lahat?
Dagat.
3, 2, 1,
Gitna ng lahat.
gitna ng lahat.
Tubig.
Oh. Gitna ng lahat.
Gitna ng lahat.
Barko.
H! Oh God, we're done with our game. Even though, simple to siya, Ma'am Shai, sa imong pagtuo. Even though na, simple daw siya, my God, makascratch ka sa imong brain. Kung saan pag-scratch sa brain, pwede isulod ang kamot sa utok. Diba? So, we are going to continue with our questions, Ma'am Fel. Are you still okay to answer questions? We have 2 more questions, Ma'am Fel. And these questions, we will know something about you as an introvert person who'd like to share her experiences to us, because we are not dili man tatanan introvert. Most of us are extrovert and some of us are introverts. So maybe some of you makarelate kay Ma'am Fel, maybe some of you cannot relate to her, but that's okay. We are learning. We tend to learn a lot of things every day. So now, Ma'am Fel, what are the biggest struggles introvert face in school and work?
Okay, so based on my own experiences, the biggest struggles that introverts usually face either sa school or work is like being ostracized in a way, like being treated as an outcast, because a lot of people really misunderstand introverts. For example, there are still people who equate introversion with being shy, which is not really the case, because believe it or not, there are actually really loud people whom you think are extroverts, but they're actually introverts. So and there are also extroverts that can actually be shy, but they become extroverts when they're, say, in the right environment, or maybe with the right people. I'm just going to say, introversion it's actually like usually preferring your own company. So it's not really similar to being shy. Like being shy is basically someone who maybe averse towards other people or something like that. But it's not the same as introversion. And yeah, so I think I went a bit off topic with that. But anyways, another struggle that introverts might face during when they're in school or at work is that there are people who try to change them without really understanding them. There are to this day, I feel like there's still people who kind of force introverts to act like extroverts, or force them out of their comfort zones when they're not really ready, which is of course which is not right, because I feel like there needs to be more understanding of introverts. Like, we do have our own comfort zones, and I know that there will come a time when we have to step out of it, but at the same time there is a right time for that to happen. Yes. So like yeah, that's one of the struggles that introverts commonly face. And also some introverts are like I'd say mistaken for being snobs or something like that, or rude, which is just not true. I've actually faced something similar. Like I've actually had people come up to me and tell me that I look like scary and
maldita intimidating.
Yes. And it doesn't help that I have RBF, which is basically the kind of expression that looks very deadly. Like, you think that the person sporting that expression is in a bad mood or something, when in reality they're just in a neutral mood.
Resting baby face.
We can't say the B word out here, so yeah. So you can just look that up. So yeah, I've had people tell me I look scary, and I've had people ask me if I'm okay, which most of the time just surprises me, because yeah, I'm okay. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
But
it doesn't mean that you're alone, or you're not talking to someone. It doesn't mean that you're sad.
Oh yes.
You're just enjoying your own company, and then you're just living your own life. Enjoying your own self.
Yeah, like people just sort of assume that we are we are sad, or we are in this bad mood. And there have also been these posts social media where there are people eating or basically just doing things all by themselves, and then there are these posts that assuming that they're lonely and all that, or that they need company, without actually stopping to think that maybe they're just enjoying their own company. Yes. Those assumptions, I mean, they kind of annoy us introverts, but we've learned to live with those assumptions.
Yes. How do you unsa man nimo handle na situation, ma'am, where people thought that you're sad, you're lonely, where in fact you're just enjoying your own company?
I'm on the inside, I kind of just just chuckle at it, but at the same time I don't really pay it any heed, because as I've grown older, I've learned to stop caring so much about what people think.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, like before I used to be starved for approval from other people, but as I grew older, I'm like, you know what, what's the benefit of trying to please people who will probably never understand me on a deeper level? So I've kind of just let them think what they want to
Yes.
think of me, because at the end of the day, that's their problem. That's not really my problem. So I'm
Yes.
not gonna make that my problem.
Wow, that's quite experience of you,
Mm-mm.
Ma'am Fel, no? So people see introvert person or people as weakness. Do you agree with that, ma'am?
No, because as I've said, introverts have their own strengths, so do extroverts. And I'm going to say that, as I've said previously, introverts can be good listeners, and also we can, like, during our times of, when we're on our own, we tend to be very introspective, like we reflect on ourselves. And I think that's really important, because I feel like in this day and age, not a lot of people really do a lot of self-reflecting. So that's, yeah, that's basically another quality that that introverts have. And also we can be very observant. Like when we're on our own, we sometimes we do people watching, like, not to be creepy, but sometimes we do observe other people just doing their own thing. And
I've noticed that.
sometimes we can tell what kind of person they are based on how they act or something like that. It's not, and not
I've
always.
experienced that, Ma'am Fel, that you're very observant because even though that certain situation happened a long time ago, you can still remember that. Like for example, there's things that happen. Siya, hala, parang lagi na siyang number ani niya. Murag, just like what she said earlier.
Oh, yes.
Like she's very observant of numbers. Like, ano ma'am,
257.
257.
Yeah, like I remember that was the ID number of that card. I don't know what you call it. That I used last week, and I managed to observe that Mom Eva had that same number, and I pointed it out.
And also, her experience way back during elementary, she still can remember that. If you would like to ask her personally, she could still remember every details of it. What happened, what time. So before we proceed to our last question, Ma'am Fel, we would like to remind everybody and announce that My Learning Venue International are in partner with ProMill. So if you'll buy any participating products of ProMill, you'll get 2 free sessions and 1 free assessment. Just look for what Ma'am Fel in our front desk. Diba? So Ma'am Fel is ready to cater you guys. So buy any participating ProMill product and you'll get 2 free sessions and 1 free assessment. So let's go back to our topic, Ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am Fel. So you told me a while ago that introvert is not a weakness. So let's talk about what are the strengths do introverts have that people miss. So you told me earlier that you're observant, you're a good listener. So ano pa, this aside from that, because I've noticed also that you're observant, you're a good listener. So give me more strength of a introvert, because an extrovert people, their strength is to engage with people, to connect with other people, to build relationship with other people. Mas dali sila makamhimog friends, unlike with the extrovert introvert people na dili man lisod sa ilang maka-create og friends, but it is very hard for them to start a conversation, to start a relationship, not the relationship na uyab, but relationship with other friends in general. So what are the hidden strengths do introverts have that people miss, Ma'am Fel?
Another strength that people tend to miss when it comes to introverts is that, considering we tend to like spend time all by ourselves, we tend to have like very developed like hobbies, or skills, because since we spend most of our time on our own, we occupy that time either by self-reflecting or doing our hobbies, which helps us develop those skills that may come in handy in the future.
Okay. So before we end with our podcast or session podcast this day, Ma'am Fel, our viewers here, na sila yung mga viewers, ilang mga parents, na sila anak siguro na introvert, or ang students na nagtanaw, di ba sig introvert po sila, what are the advice or certain advice that you could give to them to keep going and never stop comparing yourself to other people, kanang unsay advice, good advice nimo as an introvert na nakaya ang tanan ng mga challenges sa life, because now nahuman na kag-eskwela Ma'am Fel, na-finish niya yung studies, you have your work now, so meaning nakaya nimo ang mga challenges sa world na imong na-face. So can you please give us any advice, especially to those students na introvert would like you, to keep going?
Okay, so I'm just going to say this to the first two kids who may be introverted. I would just like to tell you that please don't ever change. Like, the world may tell you that you need to be like this, you need to be like that, you need to be more outgoing. No, like, embrace your introversion, because being an introvert is not a weakness, and being an introvert has a lot of good qualities. Like, it's not a bad thing to be an introvert, you know? Like, you do have many more strengths than you may realize. And if the people tell you otherwise,
So
then yeah, so be it. Like, they don't get to tell you who you are, because they're not living your life. Like, you're the only one who gets to determine your life. And of course, to the parents, I would just like to tell you that please be more understanding of your introvert children. Please don't force them in a box, or force them to be someone else. Like, please be more understanding of them and have more compassion, and always be supportive, because I can tell you that there are actually a lot of successful introverts. Yes, like a lot of them are in successful fields. Like, even if they're introverts, they still manage to be successful.
We thank you, Ma'am Fel, for being here with us. Thank you so much. We hope to see you next for our next topic. And I'm hoping your game pa kaana, Ma'am Fel, no? And by the way, everyone, fun fact that Ma'am Fel and I are both graduate in the same course, International Studies. So I hope na we will talk more, because muna siya ato ang strength, Ma'am, na makatalk o then and we will share our learnings and our learnings in international world. Diba? So I hope to see you again, Ma'am Fel, and we are very grateful for having us here today. So thank you everyone for watching and listening. I hope you've learned something from Ma'am Fel's experiences. And if you have advice, you have comments, please comment down below and like our page and like this heart our video. Thank you so much and have a great day ahead. Bye bye everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Ma'am Fel. Thank you so much.